Oh my goodness. First off, ROSTERMANIA continuing to heat up. Some of the stuff we're seeing behind the scenes, absolutely crazy. And then even more insane, the love on episode 1 of ROSTERMANIA reactions.
I don't even remember what we talked about.
5,000 likes and 40,000 views, and it hasn't even been 24 hours. It's been like 18 or 19.
Thanks, guys.
That's pretty freaking crazy. 2,000 plus new subscribers. Welcome everybody to the channel. Looks like you guys want more, so here Maven and I are at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Monday morning.
About to head to work.
Making more happen, but what we wanted to do was not only give an update, but I mean, there's been more free agents announced, there's been more people confirmed, there's been a team change now. We also want to kind of speculate on a potential couple rosters based off everything we've seen between community kind of digging, the pro players leaking some information, and now the Reddit as well. But first, I think we want to start with some of the new free agents talked about, and you've got a little bit of a list here.
Yeah, no, we've got, I think, less than yesterday for sure, so we can touch on the guys a little bit longer if you just want to go one by one. So some of the guys that declared yesterday, some are old players that retired for maybe a couple of years, some names that aren't as common anymore, but one guy that declared free agency, Remy. Now, Remy is a guy, think back to when he first came on my radar, the TR team with Aqua, Facento. Those guys have finished second at Champs. He had I guess a good career for sort of a short period of time and then sort of fell off the map. There was questions about dedication and stuff, but I think we all know when he was dedicated, was a smart player and a good player, and it could be a nice fit on a team. But yeah, he tweeted out about it yesterday.
And it's kind of funny, like, we now know, Facento off that Rise Nation lineup, Remy now a free agent. We don't know exactly what's happening with Evil Geniuses, but Nagafen, their former teammate, is there.
Yeah, which I still don't get.
Do we see a third reunion of 3/4 of TR again?
it's certainly possible. Next up, I guess we can talk Killa.
People were raging, they're like, how is Killa not mentioned? In the time that we posted our video to now, he has put out an official free agent tweet, just like Proofy did as well, between the last video and now. But Killa, man, I mean, this has been the moment he's been waiting for. So if he's back, I mean, at this point, how much stock do you put in free agent Killa? Camera just decided to implode right there. Don't know what the hell just happened. Battery's not dead on it. It looks completely fine. But either way,
we brought up Killa, and that's it.
Literally, it brought up Killa, and it killed the camera. But no, when we talk about how much stock do you actually put in Killa after all this time?
Okay. Do I think Search and Destroy is going to be far different in this game in the last 3 years? And do I think someone like Killa, now that smokes, grenades, tacticals are being more important, do I think that he will have more impact helping a team than the past 3 years? Yes, I think without question. But just for me in general, I don't put a whole lot of stock in a lot of the returning players. The ones that haven't competed for a couple of years, the ones that didn't see success in boots on the ground. If I've learned anything, typically, I mean, if you are a very good player, you're able to adapt game to game. It's a first-person shooter on console, like you're able to adapt and improve. I don't see him on a top team at all.
Well, because you just mentioned, any of the returning players. Ironically enough, the rest of this free agent list for a lot of stuff that was announced in the last 24 hours includes Proofy, that returning player, says he's a free agent for COD World War II. Huddle, that Slack duo from years ago.
Spacely, like what were those teams they were on?
Dude,
this is going real far back. But now,
for me,
no, don't get me wrong. Do I think? And I know CWL 2018. Not all the details. Nothing's really been announced. But now, do I think a lot of these players could be players that are in the pro league? Yes, without question. I guess I'm just, when I say I don't have a lot of faith, I mean I don't see some of them coming in and shaking up the top 3 or 4 teams, which we'll get into this more about who the hell knows who the top 3 or 4 teams
are. At this point, everything's going to be switched. But then you also add in, Dito has officially announced his return.
Yeah.
And what kind of gets my brain going, because there's been all sorts of rumors, does Sensor return? Sensor's kind of hinted at it in a couple videos. Does he play at an event? Dito and Sensor was on that old SB team that made some waves back before Champs.
And we're going so far back at this point. At Ghost, exactly. But like I think some people might forget Dito or how good Dito was.
This was the guy that was the 4th onto that
EG team. Like when EG was looking for a fourth to fill, and this is back in the reign of dominance from Complexity EG, the guy they grabbed was Dito. Yeah. So like there was a lot of faith, and I remember he just phenomenal search and destroy player, really all around player. He was top 5 for a lot of people at the end of Ghost, if not throughout most of Ghost. So it's tough. It's been 3 years. I don't know if he's really been playing at all.
In Ghosts, if you may just throw this out, it might not be the perfect roles or whatever, but in Ghosts, Killa, who was just a Black Ops 2 world champion, right? But
we're having technical.
No, we're fine. It'll be edited together, so it looks like barely anything's happening. But
no, it's funny if you just let it.
Fucking
this camera.
But yeah, so then you add in that. You know, if you look back in Ghost Time, the last time these guys played Boots, and then we'll move on to some of the other big team stuff right here.
Well, we did. But I want to talk about one other guy first, but yeah, keep going.
But you think Killa, who had just won a Black Ops 2 World Championship, was still very, very good in Ghosts. Proofy, you know, winds up going into Ghosts and winning that X Games gold, right? You have Dito and Sensor, who make some huge waves, like one of the only teams to beat. Like they get first at regionals and stuff like that with SB. Like these were 4 very, very talented players in the last Boots game. You could have made a roster of those 4 in that game and been like, this would be a pretty decent team.
My concern is it's been so long.
It's the old boys club.
Speaking of so long, I think the only guy that we want to talk about and didn't was Stainville. If you mentioned it and I forgot. But
I missed it, yeah.
This is going way.
You're talking Rambo type days.
Like second on the Envy team, and that was, what was it? Envy, Cap, Ray, Stainville? I might have screwed that up.
This at that point is behind me.
Okay, yeah, this is so far back. I actually joined the tail end of Black Ops 2, so when I started casting and following, it was after this actually happened. Yeah. But Stainville was still on the scene for probably around another year when I actually first got into casting. He was a great player. I just can't remember why the reason I think you're seeing a lot of these guys come back to, you have to remember, like when I first started, it was a lot of teams didn't even have salaries. A lot of players didn't have salaries. You know, talking to some of the guys now behind the scenes they said this is the most important free agency in the history of Call of Duty. And the reason that it is because salaries are so much higher than they were 3-4 years ago.
Because guys can make a living off.
Yeah, a big part of the reason you see some of these guys coming back. Yeah. A lot of them I think were smart. They retired or they stopped playing because they weren't making a living. Like there was no value in it. If you can't live day to day, if you're surviving off of McDonald's or you need to try and work a 40-hour week while also trying to do this, it's very hard. But yeah, this is really super important for agency.
Let's keep going. Let's keep the pace up. Next up, the big team change that's now happened. TJ Haley officially announced on Rise Nation. You can check out their Twitter for the official tweet. TJ Haley back with Fellow on that Rise Nation lineup. We know what he did back when he was 15. Now he's 18, even more of a skilled player, even smarter. This guy was a playmaker back in Advanced Warfare. He finished second with Hook at that Orlando event when he had the famous uplink play.
Yeah.
Casted by Duffman.
Rest in peace.
That was absolutely nuts. That moment was absolutely nuts. I think TJ will do well on Rise Nation. Will he be an improvement over Vicento? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think he certainly could be an improvement.
Yeah.
But do I think he's going to make this team, consistently top 2-3? I don't know, but I'm excited. I mean, I think he might be the third guy there. If you're talking about the 3 upcoming players you're really excited about, like Hook, Temp, and I think TJ Haley do that right there in that mix.
Absolutely.
So certainly excited about him.
So that's going to be huge. And then we were looking at this now, and for the last segment of this, we're going to basically talk about, the top 8, right? But the teams that really made waves at champs at the end of this year. I will confidently say that I think every team makes a change other than Optic and Splice.
Well, let's just go sort of through it. So we know Rise already did, 4th at champs. If you talk about LG, LG there,
Envy, Epsilon.
LG, we talked about yesterday the rumors that Classic is, part of the conversation. We've seen leaks on Reddit. I've heard people talk about it in streams as maybe joining the Envy roster. Nothing's been confirmed, but
we said our 3 players would be TJ Haley.
So he's out.
Replays or Classic.
Now let's transition that, I think, into FaZe. Because, all right, so people, real quick, with FaZe, I don't think people realize that, when Gunless came into this roster, that wasn't his first choice. He didn't want to join the FaZe team in the first place. You give Enable leadership, things don't exactly go well. That team is going to change that question for me. And there's been nothing official, but I know Zuma was sort of tweeting you joking last night. What did he say?
Well, Zuma's been saying that, a team announcement will be coming soon. People are expecting a change, right? That's no secret. We've heard more from certain players in the team, less from others. Gunless has basically stayed dark. We don't know where that currently stands. But like tweeting last night of all the ROSTERMANIA stuff, you know, I was joking. I tweeted Zuma something jokingly like, this means this, this means this, this means this. You're teaming with this, like you're teaming with Sensor, and he was like, nah, I'm teaming with the GOAT replays. And what's really funny is that like pro players keep throwing out all these jokes and out all these like fake rosters and this, and the community's eating this up and eating that up. But it's getting to a point now where like, I feel like some of them are like almost hiding in plain sight, like with stuff.
I would, if I had to guess what phase was going to be, and this is right after Champ, so I would have had to guess. I would have said Attach and Azuma looking for 2. So, and that's just because I think Enable, like as much as Clayster sort of need to leave for it to be fresh, I feel the same way about Enable right now. I don't know. Yeah, I think it'd be them plus Replays looking for 1. And if I was looking for 1 with Replays joining, I'd be looking for a young, incredibly talented player. Not a whole lot of them left, but again, not a whole lot confirmed.
Well, trust me, the free agent list goes on for a freaking while. Like, I think the big thing, though, to take a look at is we do the digging, Maven and I. Wound up going, I was reading through everything. I read through everything to make sure we brought what we could to this video. Went on Reddit, Beezy, player we've seen play at Champs as well as, you know, be right on the cusp, I think is the best way to put it, in competitive Call of Duty for breaking into that top 8. Pretty often, you know, not saying he'll do it every event, but, you know, just making that placement there, getting his name up there. He posted on Reddit in a thread where basically it was saying like Replays, like teasing going to FaZe, but this time as a player, not a coach. And he said, oh yeah, they picked up Replays. They're looking for 1, and FaZe fans might be butthurt when they find out who the 4th is, but I think it could work out well, or something like that. I need to go find his exact comment. But definitely the first part. I don't know if he said I think it could work out well. I'm pretty sure he referenced something along those lines. But that's from BZ, who I think is a pretty legitimate source. He's been someone that's commented very often.
It makes too much sense. And actually, real quick, back to the previous conversation, we talked about teams that we think will stay the same. You know, you mentioned Optic, you mentioned Splice. The only other team that I haven't heard anything concrete about is United. Actually, I haven't heard a whole lot of speculation there. There's been some trolling certainly on Twitter from RCDs and stuff, but I actually that's the one
RCD's joke. He picked me up.
That's the one that I haven't really heard a whole lot about. I mean, the only scenario in which I think like something could happen there would be, I guess, like if some org, maybe even new to Call of Duty Esports, but bigger on the outside, like offered Clay some ludicrous amount of money to make whatever team he wanted for boots, but I don't even know. I feel like part of me thinks that United would just be like, all right, we'll match that. Dude, like, I'm not really sure.
Nate Shotwet sent 1 tweet to Clayster, and it got enough like traction to have like articles written and like people truly believing like what could happen. And it was like a joke tweet that I think like Nate was on stream and like did it.
I don't think they should make a change. I like that team. I'm very interested to see how they're going to do. But I guess if I think something would happen, it would be around Clay. I feel like it would have to be.
I think the big thing is this, folks. ROSTERMANIA, it's underway. It's going to be huge. It's going to keep being huge. We've already started to see teams begin to form again with that Rise Nation team adding TJ Haley. I think in the next 48 to 72 hours, we're going to see even more major developments. I think we're going to be sitting in these exact chairs again.
Tonight, probably.
If the community keeps wanting it, keep destroying that like button, guys. 2,500 new subscribers in the last 24 hours. A bunch of people love this. We're enjoying it too because it's keeping us excited for the next CWL season.
It's 8 a.m. I'm not usually awake.
But you know what? We love this shit. Love you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know in the comments, you know, where you think these rosters will go. What are your thoughts? Because people just can't even begin to believe what some of these rosters are going to be. Some of the stuff that's expected, it's going to be nuts. You won't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.